try and work through them. But in the spirit of foundation, I wanted to start out and have you tell us a little bit about where you're from and kind of where you grew up, and tell us about your family a little bit.
Sure. I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada, of all places. Not a big fan of Vegas anymore. Kind of had a little bit too much of that in my youth. But went to UNLV for computer science. Dropped out of school. Moved out here in 2000 to San Francisco during the end of the first dot-com boom. Worked for a handful of startups, ended up landing a job at Tech TV, ended up hosting a TV show on Tech TV for a little while, for about a year and a half, and then started Dig in late 2004. And then after that, just started angel investing and a whole slew of different things.
And you, can you tell us a little bit, what's your family background in terms of your parents? Did your dad work in tech, or did your mom, what was your background?
So dad was an accountant, mom very artsy, very much into everything from, she had a gourmet gift basket business and did flower arrangements and things like that. Always a very good artist.
You did it like at the house, or did she have a?
Yeah, she did some of that at the house. She like took over our garage at one point. But you know, a family of entrepreneurs. Like really, my dad worked for himself. Mom the same way. My sister is a big buyer for Zappos right now, so she handles like 4 or 5 of their private brands. So she's got like 15 employees. They're a separate company than Zappos. But just, you know, I think that I learned a lot from my dad and watching him. And I remember at a very young age seeing, you know, my dad have his own office in the house and thinking like, well, he doesn't go to work. That's so cool, you know, because he was always at the house. And I was like, that's so awesome. He's just on his computer all day long, and I want to do that. And so I eventually
You're sure he was working, right? He was.
There's a little bit of TV watching there as well. Definitely some football games happened, but.
And so you were in Las Vegas. You went to UNLV. You studied computer science, right? And well, I mean, did you plan to be an engineer? Were you? Did you had a fascination with computers, or what was the motivation behind being?
You know, I started programming when I was probably around 13 or 14 years old, and just basic and Visual Basic, and then some Pascal. And then you know, went into school and was doing the same thing, but it was just kind of boring. I liked it a little bit more. I was also big into Photoshop and playing around with like creating my own websites back then, and coding. I think just I was good but not great, and so I would always meet developers that were a lot better than me. But I was really good at taking a product and figuring out, just looking at something and looking at a problem and trying to figure out why it's not working or how it could be better. And so I think that I started to drift a little bit more towards kind of product design and being more of a PM type role.
Right right out of school. I mean, do you feel like you always kind of had that skill set?
Yeah, I think I started when I was at Tech TV. I had a couple little projects that I outsourced and had developers write for me, and I was very much the person that was coordinating the entire thing. So bringing together the illustrators or designers, and then also working with the developers, and kind of marrying those two things, and just making sure everything would flow right, and that, you know, there wasn't anything that was glaringly wrong with the product, that the usability was okay. Like, it was just something that I was just always fascinated with, that side of the house.
Yeah.